Joining us today is a guest, and as it says in the bio, in the magical cave every week because they have a podcast, I believe, themselves. That's what it's described as. And help your child learn focus, courtesy, respect, discipline, and more. So you can watch the fun animated short videos and join in the weekly missions to help your child grow into a happy, confident, responsible leader. And it's less than 10 minutes a week. That's the amazing thing. The
Thank you.
bio also, the thing, sorry, and the bio goes on to say over 25 years of leadership experience, second generation leadership coaches, and they are parents of four adult children, five-star rating of thousands of families, schools and families. They got BA in child development and family ecology, 25 plus years of training. That's more years. So that's enough
Yeah.
about that. But I've got Audra
Yes.
Karam, I believe that's pronounced, to the journey.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for having me here today. And yeah, the journey for us, it's been exciting and it's been over many, many years, as you shared there. We started, my husband he grew up in a martial arts surrounding. His family had a martial arts school. So he started when he was 5 learning martial arts. And as we all know, martial arts isn't really about fighting and kicking and punching. It's about, the internal discipline and learning to be more self-confident and become a leader. And so his dad did it for many, many years. And then when we had our own children, we took over the school. And so we continued to teach martial arts and its fundamental, Taekwondo was a style. And we taught it in its fundamental, I guess, status of it's about the martial arts. But we also knew at a deeper level that people were coming for just to build themselves up, to be more self-confident and be more internal and think about themselves a little differently. And another thing we also noticed is we were attracting a lot more children to our program. And with that being said, we had our own children, and we said, this is what we really need is to identify what these children need. And we knew it wasn't kicking and punching, wasn't learning how to fight, right? It was about becoming leaders. And so we made a pivot on our curriculum and our program at the school to be more driven about life skills. So every week we would present a topic of courtesy or focus or teamwork. And then we would share that with the children. And then they would have a weekly assignment, which was simple, something as simple as saying please and thank you all week, or helping your mom or dad do something at the house that you normally wouldn't do, like clear the table or something like that. And so we kept building and progressing and building and progressing, and our parents were just in love with that. They're like, this is what we wanted, these life skills. And so it was kind of the white uniform was kind of a vehicle, right? And showing up to class, and they were obviously were learning, a little bit of kicking and punching and how to move forward, because some families wanted that, but it was the life skills that was really a huge component. So then we kept moving forward and kind of tweaking the program. My background is in working with children, as you mentioned, and that's what my degree is in. And my husband was in the martial arts. And so we kind of married the concepts, and then we blossomed to, we had a really, really strong program that was in person in Ohio, and we were transforming lives and children, and we just had many, many people continuing to be a part of our curriculum.
Hmm.
And then COVID came, which changed our journey again. So we pivoted and we could no longer meet in person. And so what we did was took our content and we said, you know what, let's move this to a different platform. So everything's online now. And we integrate it in 10 minutes a week. And what's fun is they're animated characters. The kids watch a short video once a week. They do the organic learning through the week. So, like I said, please and thank you. That's not something you have to sit down and concentrate on, right? We should be doing this through the day when we hold the door open or when our kids help us here. So, all of our lessons work like that. We actually call him missions. Black Belt Bruce is the animated character, and he has his little white uniform on, and he can be found on YouTube. Um, And so he shares with the animated characters in the magical kingdom there in the jungle, these things that are important in life. And as the families go through this week after week, then they start to see changes in their children. And that has been the biggest focus and reward of what we've done, is that change because of COVID. So that's the journey there, right?
Yeah.
Um, and we also knew that when we were doing this program from the very beginning, that our kids only have a limited time to they have a limited learning window, is what it's called. And it ends about age 9, to where their brains are growing, their enthusiasm is growing. And when we can keep inputting, and that's the cool part of our program, it's for ages 3 to 9-year-olds, 8, 9-year-olds. Um, because once they hit 9, their habits are already formed. And I think maybe, as adults, we can all attest to that. Like, who do you tend to be? Who you go fall back on is the easiest place. Our habits become our future, right? So that is what we've kind of done. And I shouldn't say kind of done, but we're always growing, we're always improving our curriculum and our program, because we love feedback. We love to hear, what can we do better?
Mm.
And this is just a dream come true for us. It's a passion that my husband has had for years. And I love working with kids and families. And so we don't do, like, some people ask us if we do coaching, and we don't. It's really, the program runs itself, but allows a family an opportunity to have an experienced guide and to show them, some things that they can do to be improving their family situation and help their kids be leaders. Good kids to great kids is what we say.
Yeah, because the expression I learned, and it's over time, because you say about martial arts, and obviously people have myths about martial arts, it's all fighting, but it's obviously not that. But you're incorporating into the fact that children of today's society, I'm not saying all of them are bad, but most of them have got difficult upbringing. So you want them to be learning new skills that will help them for their own development as they get older. So like you said, the age between 3 and 9, that's a good time to get them, because that's where you can absorb the most info to them, and that will progress them as they get beyond the point of 9 years old.
Absolutely right, David. Yeah, it's a critical time. There's a Harvard study that's been done about habits, and they say by 9, if they're not ingrained, then it can be changed, as we know. But it takes so much more effort because of the connections in the brain and how the brain works. And I think anybody who's been around a child, they know they're like sponges, right? They just take in information. And so we want it to be good information. And if you're not intentional as a parent about having your child work on these things, it doesn't just happen. And I think they don't know that. And I'm not saying everybody, but if you haven't had the experience to where someone's helping you grow, you just kind of exist. And so we want to take every opportunity we can to help our children be better. And that's part of what our program does, is like we say, we help good kids become great kids. And there's so much value in that for our future, right? As a world, as a country, that we need to be doing our part as parents. And parenting's hard, and it takes a lot of work. And so we just say, hey, let us help you make it easier, and you can have a successful outcome if you just follow the simple steps, and it's as easy as that.
Yeah, and going to the fact of parenting, it's the fact that, parenting is evolved as well.
Yeah.
Because when you was younger, your way of being brought up as a child was different to the way you raised your children. And your children would be raising, you know, your grandchildren. So that factor there, there's 3 stages of evolution in a family. But the fact is, they were all raised in different styles. Now you'd want them to be, oh, you'd be like me when you grow up, for being a parent like this. But ultimately, the key set there and the mindset is, I'm my own person. I do it my way. Yes, you've helped me, but at the same time, it helps them to learn themselves.
Yeah.
Like I know, I'm not saying this in the harshest way possible. Like when my mum was growing up, my grandmother was in a not strict, but there was punishment where spanking was allowed.
Hmm.
And when I was born, spanking was phasing out. Now I can't go beyond that point, but I know I've got family members who have had children, so I can see the evolution after I was born. So,
Uh-huh.
and you can't even spank or punish now. You can't even raise your voice without being told that is wrong.
There, yes. And everybody has their own wag on that. Like, corporal punishment acceptable? Some parents still certainly spank. Some think that's the worst thing in the world. I believe, there are you are the parent. And I think we don't endorse that. We do believe that, if you work with your children, if you have the conversation, and you need to say no. No is okay to say, right? Because life doesn't just it doesn't life doesn't work that way that everybody gets a trophy. Life doesn't work that way that we all get to do what we want when we want. When you take your children into a restaurant, our expectation as martial arts in our background and as being a future leader is, yeah, your 3-year old can sit at the table and not be disruptive to everyone else in the restaurant. And that's an expectation that you have to set as the parent. And some parents are afraid to I guess put that in place because they don't want to hurt the child's feelings or they feel they're being judged. And there's a lot of confidence that has to come from the parent in being parenting. Like the parent has to feel confident and comfortable with their decisions because otherwise you're going to just, wiggle down the road and your kids feel that.
Yeah.
And if
So,
it couldn't be truer, then, parents would say, well, I can't get them to do this or that. And I'm always like, you have to say what you mean and mean what you say,
yeah. And
right?
be and not sounding like you're being a dictator, false to
Yes.
because that's the key word as well. You can't demand and expect them to say yes straight away because they will not accept demand. They will take simple instructions like show me,
Yeah.
that tell me. It's simple enough without being aggressive.
Yeah. And every child's growing and they all are different. Being the mother of four, um, every single one of them, is different. And so do you raise them the same? Do you provide the same guidelines? Absolutely. And that's an expectation that we always put out there is, yeah, you will treat people with respect. Yes, you will be kind. And an expectation as our house is you do say please and you say thank you. But it was because they modeled what we did. You know what I mean? That's the bigger thing. It wasn't because we demanded it. If, for an example, if we needed, if I were to hand a plate or something to my child and, they didn't say thank you, then I just held the plate until I heard thank you,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
And then obviously, like you said, it's a simple way of communication. And I think I touched upon the magical age, and you even touched upon it. It is free because when you're 1, 2, that is where you're exploring. 3 is the time that is the time to start being you.
Yeah. Yep. They're all come into this world as unique human beings. And although there may be consistencies because you're from the same gene pool, they're not the same, obviously, they're not the same little person. And I think as a parent to understand that and embrace it, I think helps you be a better parent and helps them be more of a successful child in the end.
So post-pandemic and COVID, because obviously that made you stronger in your journey. Do you feel like it's evolving in such a way now that people are understanding that your character for Black Belt Bruce Club, and I do love the character because I've seen the illustration when you sent the bio to me. Do you believe that with the way technology is, this is the way forward for lesson building for children to absorb more because every child obviously now depends on a computer or a
Yeah.
tablet or
Well, the amazing part was as we were very intentional as we designed excuse me, animated videos. We made sure to keep them short in length because the attention span of the children, and we are in full agreement. We do not want these kids sitting in front of a screen most of the day. That is not the goal. It's about having that message be delivered to them in less than 7 minutes, because all of our videos are less than 7 minutes that we ask the children to watch. And having that ability to be online allows us to reach the world, as opposed to just one little community that we lived in, and that we had our school in. So yes, we say, having the animation and having it on YouTube, people can just visit it from anywhere and they can have a piece of this learning opportunity that couldn't have been done any other way unless you lived where we lived. And as we design the curriculum, like we say, there's a message at the beginning of the video, and then we have a little bit of meat to the content, and then we wrap it up with what your journey is for the rest of the week to make sure you're working on it.
okay. Now obviously people be asking how can I access this? I know you said about YouTube, which I will probably will put in a link in description.
Yeah.
But and I also might I don't know if it can be done, but I might ask your permission if I can find a video and upload it for the my YouTube channel to attach to this podcast so
Oh,
people
that's
could
a
do.
great idea.
So I will
Yeah,
combine the. So if that's okay, I'll find a video from your YouTube channel and I'll attach it on afterwards. So people
perfect.
watching on YouTube have got exclusive where they can see a snippet of an example of what your work is.
There you go. Yeah, we have we are on YouTube. And that is the Black Belt Bruce Club. And then they can see the videos. And then we have a website, blackbeltbruce.com. And if they want to learn more about, because we are in schools, we do work with individual families, homeschoolers, all different kind of schools. They can check it out there, read a little bit more about us and how it actually works. And, quite honestly, we are actually a phone call away. So if they can, I think our phone number is on there, or just email us, and we'd be happy to have a conversation, kind of let you know more about the curriculum.
And last question I always ask, what inspiration would you give people, parents, children, if they watch this? Would you tell them now to continue their journey?
Um, yeah, it can be done. And as a parent, if there's a couple of words I would say, it's, again, say what you mean and mean what you say.
I love
That
that.
having that consistency for your children, there's not question, and they like clear-cut roles.
Audra, it's been a pleasure talking to you today
You as
about
well,
your
David.
work with your husband. And to close, and I'm saying this because it will be in the edit, to close, we will share this video. I don't know which one it is, but it will be this one.
That's great.
But thank you for sharing your journey with us today.
Thank you, David. You have a great afternoon, and it's great connecting with you, and thanks for taking the time, and best of luck with everything you keep doing.
Hi, friends. So glad to see you here today, and I want to invite you to join us in our magical cave every week. My name is Black Belt Bruce, and these are my friends.
Hi, my name is Zinc, and I am a zebra. I live in the magical cave with Black Belt Bruce and my friends.
Hi, my name is Henrietta, and I am a hyena. I also live here in the magical cave.
Hi, I'm Tessa the toucan, and this is the Frankie cockroach beside me. We also live here with Black Belt Bruce.
Now that you met everyone, come on, let's go see the magical cave.
This is called the cafeteria.
This is my favorite place. It's called the playground.
This is the classroom.
and this is where we learn new things.
Make sure you come every week to join us in our new adventures. We have so much fun. Oh, and be sure to join the Black Belt Bruce Club. When you join the club, you get to do amazing things every day, and you get all this cool stuff. So be sure to ask your parents to join the Black Belt Bruce Club because they will love it too. Have your parents go to blackbeltbruce.com and click on Join the Black Belt Bruce Club, and they can sign you up there. See you there. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below. It really helps out the channel. And remember to turn on your notifications so you never miss a new video. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. I love hearing from you.